Oh God, we've done it again. The internet's gonna hate us.
Diesel versus EV, one day, 450 miles. Which fuel is cheapest and which takes longest on a road trip?
We've done this video already with different cars, and we've listened to your comments about that.
Ding, 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 ding.
We've ignored the ones about my toilet procedure and my diet, and we've changed the rules of the challenge.
Last time I stopped quite a bit for food, whereas Tim didn't. So this time we've mandated 3 stops of set times spread across the day.
We're also gonna stick to the speed limit a bit more strictly than we might have done in the past. Not that we've ever broken the speed limits, ever, to make it fairer.
We're heading east to west from the most easterly point in England here, all the way down to the most westerly point there.
You can think of it as a family road trip. We'll be carrying at least 2 adults in every car, as well as camera equipment to make up the weight of 2 children. So it's gonna be like a family. That's one of your comments from last time. We've listened to it. But I am gonna draw the line at letting cameraman Ollie kick the back of my seat every time I play a song that isn't Let It Go.
Let's rewind to this morning.
And the grimy industrial estate on the outskirts of Lowestoft.
Last time we used £100,000 cars. This time we've set a budget of £23,000 using used cars from Motorpoint stock. And I'm getting the diesel, and I've gone for a BMW 320d in Le Mans Blue, my favourite. And they are famously good at long distance driving with a sporty edge.
Rather unfashionably, I've chosen a Tesla Model 3. This is a £23,000 long-range all-wheel drive model from 2021. Now, these used to be one of the biggest selling cars in the UK, and I'm just keen to find out what a 23 grand version feels like on a very long drive.
Not as good as my car.
I think it's going to be better. Right, there's going to be no faffing about in this video, no YouTube magic. The car that wins will be the car you see win. We don't care who wins. You might see some shots of the cars driving around. We'll film those tomorrow so that we don't interrupt the flow of the road trip. Ready? Let's go. See you later then. Ooh. We're gonna win.
We'll get him back, don't you worry. We'll get him back.
We were gonna try and stick together this time round. It's gone wrong within 100 meters. We're going different ways out of Lowestoft. But yes, we are gonna strictly stick to a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. Now, I have never really spent much time in a Tesla, so what I'm doing is I'm leaving all of the navigation to the car. It's planning my stops, it knows how long I need to stop for. I'm going to use the supercharger network because that's why you buy a Tesla. Yes, you're buying the car, but mostly you're buying access to the rather brilliant supercharger network of fast chargers. It's just plug and play, automatically takes the money out of your bank, and you don't have to think about it. Now, this particular Model 3, as I've said, is a 2021 long-range all-wheel drive model with a 78 kilowatt hour battery. And what that means is on paper it can do 360 miles to a charge. Now, this car is coming up to 4 years old, and on a full charge I'm seeing 320 miles, which I still think is pretty good considering it's been quite cold. It's 6 degrees at the moment. Now, this 2021 model got a heat pump as standard, so it should be doing decent miles. Let's see how we get on.
We're 40 minutes into our drive, so we have a bit of a way to go. And I thought I'd just take this opportunity to talk to you about the car. Now that plug-in hybrids and EVs are the default tax-friendly choice for company car drivers, BMW 320ds have rather fallen out of favour. But because there are tons of them still on the road, that means there's plenty to choose from, which is great if you're looking for a sporty, stylish saloon car to do loads of miles in. The stats on this car are in some ways less impressive than Tim's Model 3. Although I've got 190 horsepower to play with, and it does get me to 62 in a fairly impressive 6.8 seconds, he can get to the same speed in just 4.2 seconds.
Now, the reason we're doing this EV versus diesel road trips, the second one we've done if you've been paying attention, lots of people still think you can't use EVs for the occasional big journey, such as the family holiday, which is why we're going from east to west in England, because it's the sort of thing you might do on your Easter holiday or something like that. And actually, our route is currently taking us past my childhood's best place, the place where I am happiest, actually still as an adult in the entire world. I'm of course talking about the Imperial War Museum at Duxford. If you've never been, it is a cornucopia of aeroplanes, tanks, and general Second World Warness, but mostly aeroplanes. There's tons of hangars. I can see Hangar 1 there, or Airspace, whatever it's called now. I know that in there is Concorde, there's an SR-71 Blackbird, there's F-15s, there's A-10s, there's Spitfires, there's Hurricanes. It is the best museum in the world. Actually, I've just been making cameraman Ollie listen to a Second World War podcast.
Short early pain, but huge benefits.
You can see how excited he was about that. Hurricane on a stick. You love to see it.
Services! We are going to stop for our second breakfast. Yes, this is the first time that we're stopping on this journey. We've been going for about 2 hours now, and my tummy is rumbling. Looking for an egg, looking for an egg, looking for an egg. There must be an egg somewhere. Just an egg, that's all I want.
That's with the fruit.
Of course, of course. That's where you look for an egg. It's next to the fruit. Did you know that?
Tim Rodie, how are you doing?
Yeah, we are rolling. We haven't done our first stop yet.
Aren't you hungry or need the loo maybe?
I am actually, yeah, my back teeth are floating. I'm bursting for the loo, but this is the thing I've learned. The Tesla has set me 3 stops down to Land's End, charging at each one for a little bit. I can't change that now because that is the route I want to do. That means I have got to hold on to my urine for 31 minutes.
You know, you can just enjoy the drive and then just change the stops to suit your body and your car.
No, Elon Musk is in full control of my urethra. But yes, so you stopped in Chelmsford, I gather.
We've stopped here. I've got myself healthy second breakfast, and I am acutely aware that right now you are moving and getting further along down the road, and I am still stationary because I'm speaking to you. So I'm going to get back in my BMW and hit the road.
Good luck. May the BMW treat you well. The Tesla's plodding along. I'll see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Have fun.
Bye.
One thing I really love about this Model 3 and just Teslas in general is how much information it gives you when you're charging. It shows you how fast it's charging, how many miles an hour, and how many kilowatt hours it's added. And also, if you go, I think, here and then charging, it will show you how much this charging session has cost. So since I plugged that in, it's cost me 75p. It's only 39p a kilowatt hour. At a public fast charger, that is so much cheaper than using a random public charger. See, this is why you get a Tesla, isn't it? It's easy and it's cheaper.
Right, we've just done our first charge. We were there for our mandated 25-minute stop, which is actually how long it took both of us to go to the toilet and get some healthy food from Starbucks. And in that 25 minutes, I was charging the whole time, it's added, well, about 50% of the battery back. So it's actually adjusted our charging strategy for the rest of the day. The next charging spot is about 105 miles away. I'm going to ignore that because there's a place I want to go to that Rebecca Jackson wouldn't be going to, shall we say. Amesbury Services, which if you know the world, is near Stonehenge. So it's going to be a scenic drive down the A303, see how we get going. But this is very relaxing, just letting the car work it out. This is what EV driving is actually about. None of this nonsense of, I've got Zap Map imprinted in my brain so I know exactly which chargers are cheapest. This Tesla system, I'm afraid it is just the best. It's annoying to have to say that. Does keep pulling to the right though.
Hello, Tim Rodie.
Jackson, we've just finished our 25-minute mandated stop. I've got a funny feeling I can see you in the distance. I think you're less than half a mile ahead of us.
Can you see a little glimmer of Le Mans blue in your windscreen?
Absolutely can. And I'm hunting you down within the posted speed limit.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, we both stopped once, the same amount of time.
You've not filled up, but I have, but it didn't matter because I was going to the loo anyway, and we're on the same bit of road.
Who's in front?
Yes, fine, you're in front.
I don't think charging is going to come into the winning of this.
Because our charging is going to be done during the stops that we would be making anyway, which is what we found last time we did this video, isn't it? It doesn't really matter about the charging. It's your bladder and your eating that take the time.
Exactly, and we all know that I need a lot of food, and you seem to have an amazing capability of holding in your wee.
Yeah, I feel like as I approach my 40th year, that's getting weaker. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my bladder.
We're here to talk about the competition.
And it is on.
Before we talk about the fuel economy in this car, I'm just going to share with you that Tim's Tesla has a range of about 360 miles. How far it will actually go, we'll find out on this road trip. Mine, however, this BMW has, well, let's ask my diesel expert in the back.
Well, I think I said it was going to be between 50 and 60 mpg, so do you want to have a look?
Yeah, I'll have a look. Now, my onboard computer says 56.5. So, yeah, you were right, well done. And that gives us a range of about 600 miles. So we don't need to stop. Why are you here?
I don't really know, to be honest.
We have been driving for about 5.5 hours, including our stop, and we have covered 270 miles. So we've got less than 200 miles to go, and we are now giving ourselves a decent long lunch stop. When I say long, we're probably going to stop for about 45 minutes. So regardless of whether you need charge or fuel, of course we do not need either, we do need to fuel our bodies. And driving for this amount of time, you would definitely want to stop and have a rest anyway. That said, we have been really enjoying our drive because it's a beautiful sunny day, the countryside is stunning, and we've had some decent tunes on the sound system.
Bite-sized brain hacks for busy people.
Right, we're about 4 hours in now, I guess, and it's lunchtime. We're about to have our big 45-minute lunchtime charge and eat. And Rebecca Jackson's probably sitting there smug about going to some bougie farm shop to have some kind of ginger shot colonic irrigation special. That's not how you do a family road trip, Rebecca Jackson. I've got 2 young girls, and what we like is something we don't often get to do. We get to go and have a healthy buffet at a hut made of pizza.
Right, I'm just checking my phone to see how charged the car is. It's at 99%. So in about a couple of minutes, it'll be fully charged. And that's been 45 minutes, which was our kind of mandated stop time. In 45 minutes, we've had lunch and fully charged the car. No YouTube magic, it took us 45 minutes to eat lunch, and it also took the car 45 minutes to get to 100% from about 27-ish. You're not waiting around to charge the car, you're waiting to eat, really. So yeah, the moons have aligned onwards towards Land's End. Oh, one thing I don't like about Teslas, look at this gap. That is absolutely massive. And if we cut in a shot of the other side, it's a lot smaller.
And on that Tesla.
Yeah, bit inconsistent. Okay, now our bellies are disgustingly full of Pizza Hut pizza and the inevitable ice cream factory that follows. I should talk about the performance of this Model 3 because it's ridiculous. Certainly from about 50 miles an hour to 70, it is ferociously fast. Now you have got a choice of acceleration modes, you've got chill or normal, but I just don't think you need this much power in a normal family car, really. It's more about the range, the efficiency, which this still does well, but really if you want to do big trips economically, you just want the standard long-range single motor, would be my very sensible, boring advice. But yeah, ice cream feels okay. Ice cream doesn't feel okay. Right, anyway, we're going to go and vomit in a bush. We'll see you when we're closer to Land's End. We've currently got 209 miles to go, and because I've overcharged this and charged it to 100%, we don't need to stop again for charging to Land's End. So we've done Norwich to Land's End in 2 charges, and I've not done it tactically. I've just charged it for as much time as we've been spent faffing about. So yeah, our 3rd stop this afternoon won't really need a charge. I might do one just for safety for coming home, but yeah, that's it. We can enjoy the scenery now, or as it's otherwise known, the queue of traffic opposite Stonehenge. Why are you getting so distracted by a bunch of rocks?
If you're going to spend a lot of time in a car, then a BMW 3 Series is a good place to be. The interior feels smart and the seats are supportive, although some people might find them a little narrow, and I personally would like to have a lumbar support. And because it's so sure-footed and easygoing, it covers the miles with very little fuss. What could be described as fussy though despite being smart, is some of the control centre, because although the xDrive system is brilliant because you can keep looking at the road while you're making some changes, the actual user experience is a little convoluted because some of the settings are a little difficult to find, and the rev counter on the digital dash goes the opposite direction to the way you think it should go. Aston Martin also does that, so at least BMW is in good company.
Right, I've just got off the phone with Rebecca. She is about 3.5, 4 miles ahead of me. And we're not going to catch her up because we're all doing very strictly the speed limit. We've both got another 15-minute rest stop and then we're on to Land's End. So I can't physically catch her up. I can only hope to win on cost of charging. I've done 2 charges. I'm going to do a third quick small one. And I've had such cheap charging that I think I might win this challenge on cost. But let's talk about electricity and the Model 3. I've done 300 miles today so far. We're 3/4 of the way through. I did 400 miles yesterday prepping for the shoot, and I quite like it. Lots of it has been, it's like the car reinvented unnecessarily. All the touchscreen stuff by and large works okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch to get to some of the menus, but mostly it's easy to use. There are some little quirks, like it's quite hard to see your overall trip on the map. It just shows you your next charging stop. And also, if you're using the built-in Spotify connection, you need Spotify Premium and also the upgraded connectivity in the car, which is like 10 quid a month or something. And then when you're listening to a podcast, it doesn't always remember where you were in the podcast when you come back to it, which sounds like a small thing, but because it's not got Apple CarPlay, it could drive you batty. Also, this one's not too creaky or rattly. It's one of the facelift cars. I think this one was built in China. There's a bit of a creak and a buzz from the front right corner of the bumps, but other than that, it's really refined and comfortable. I would say the seating position's a little odd, because I'm 6'3". You sit reasonably high up. When you look at the side of a Model 3, you realise it's a big weird whale shape. And look, if I sit bolt upright, my eye line is actually there, the roof. I am mostly comfortable. It does just feel like a toddler designed a car and they've just put it all into production. And obviously there are very few buttons and anything. They've taken all the cost out of the interior because it's gone into the batteries and the motors. But it does work. And for 20 grand now, this feels like a lot of car with 20,000 miles on it. I should just point out that the leather on the steering wheel hasn't worn especially nicely for 20,000 miles. I think a BMW might beat it in that regard.
We're driving through, oh my goodness, welcome to Cornwall. I was going to start that piece to camera in Devon because I want to talk to you about scones or scones. In Devon, it is clotted cream and then jam on top of the scone or the scone. And now we are in Cornwall and it's jam followed by clotted cream. And I would like to know what you think. Is it scone or scone? And do you prefer clotted cream then jam or jam then clotted cream? I'm going to ask my crew as well. Ben, what do you prefer?
Scone and then clotted cream, jam on top.
Okay, Matt?
Sounds really boring, but I'm exactly the same.
Cream first, scone.
Despite sticking strictly to the speed limits, I managed to catch up with Rebecca by using the Model 3's handling to not slow down for a motorway slip road. Then she did a piece to camera during which she slowed down to about 60, and that was all I needed to nip in front. But then it was time for the final mandatory 15-minute stop, and Rebecca took the lead once more.
Nice parking, mate.
Shut up. It's been a long day. We're driving through a beautiful Devon sunset. It's been a long old slog today, but weirdly it's been less depressing than the drive we did last year from Glasgow to Portsmouth because there's been more variety. But we're charged, we're due to arrive at Land's End in an hour and a half with 36% battery remaining, 80 miles left to go. Rebecca is ahead of me though. She's got to do her last mandated stop. We've done ours. So can we do her on the, I'm not very good at Formula One, as she's in the pits. Anyway, are we going to win? I don't know, but I think we'll win on the cost. So we just charged a very beautiful hotel called the Arundel Hotel, and it had gazillions of chargers in the car park. It cost us £8.61 to top it up. Not bad. So I haven't done the maths yet, but I think we're looking at well under 60 quid for the full day's charging. I don't think diesel's going to be that cheap.
Okay, we have just had our final stop on our mega trip from Lowestoft. Is it Lowestoft?
Lowestoft.
Lowestoft. I have said it wrong and right so many times today. Lowestoft to Lowestoft Ness to Land's End in Penzance, and we have just had our final stop, which was a short one, 15 minutes. So I had a quick ginger shot to keep myself powered for the final hour of the journey.
With the end in sight and separated at our final stops, we didn't know who was actually in front. Would I get there first in the Muskmobile, or would Rebecca sneak the win in her enterprise software sales special?
We've been driving for almost 10 hours and we have covered about 440 miles. We were with Mr. Tim Rodie just before they pulled off for their last rest and charge, and we went to a different service station. I don't know where they are now. They may be there before us, but I'm really hoping that we have arrived before them. So we're going to leave the camera rolling now and see what happens. We are now approaching Land's End and I can see some headlights. That really better not be Tim Rodie. I want us to win.
They're going to be smug.
Us to win. They will be so smug. I feel like a moth going to the light. But do you know what? I don't think that is a Tesla. Oh, hang on a minute.
We've come to the end of England. We've come to the end of our trip. I'll get straight to it. The car that got here first was me in the Tesla Model 3.
Oh no, you are kidding. Unbelievable.
Over 440 miles, over 10 hours of travel time, I got here first.
Yes, well done, Tim. By how much?
Less than 90 seconds.
Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely ridiculous. But in terms of cost,
That's what I was going to ask you. How much did it cost?
it cost me £39.
Did it really?
£39.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this little beast here cost £50 and 67 pence.
Yes! I was quicker, I was cheaper. I think this is just really a big well done to the Tesla Supercharger network. It's fast public charging that's cheap.
And there's a charger here.
And there's a charger here, which is 150 kilowatts. So I can actually get home in decent time.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're off for dinner.
And go down to the comments and tell us what we did wrong so we can do it again. But look, 23 grand cars makes no difference whether you go EV or diesel. You're going to tell me I'm wrong. Goodbye.